Hello, friends. Welcome again. I'm super excited about this session which I'm going to conduct now. Now, in this session, I will talk about how do you optimize that resume. Optimization of resume is super important because you just don't want to create something just for the sake of it. You want to create something so that it gets shortlisted and you get better opportunities. So there is something called as ATS, and you would have heard that okay, this resume is ATS compliant or things like that. So what does ATS stand for? It stands for application application tracking system. ATS stands for application tracking system, right? Now, basically, a company might get, let's say, 500 resumes and they have five openings. Do you feel they have the time to go through all those 500? They won't, right? They rather have some software like through which they scan the resumes for various keywords and many other things, and based on that they shortlist a few. So your resume should basically comply with that and should come up in the search results, and that is what a ATS compliant resume means. So in this session I'll talk about how to create a ATS compliant resume so that the chances of it getting picked up is more, right? So let's get started. I would have a presentation for this. Okay, just give me a moment. If I make it full screen, yeah, this should be fine, anyways. Yeah. So I would be covering these things. So, anyways, you will have a look at those. That's fine. Recording is happening, right? Yeah. Okay. So the things that you have to remember while drafting content in your resume, right? So I'm talking it more from a ATS perspective that why what you have to do and why you have to do, you will get to know. You remember your resume has to be either a one page or two page. Preferred one page, and if you're at very senior roles, you can have two pages. So for that, you have to avoid unnecessary information. Like you mentioned, my objective of my career is this. I mean, I don't think it's required. You talk about your correspondence address. You talk about your family members. You talk about that you like singing, you like dancing. I mean, do you feel that can fetch you a job? No, that cannot. That is irrelevant. So try to put relevant information as much as possible. Very, very important. Mention only graduation and post graduation. No one is interested what you have done in your 10th, what you have done in your 12th standard, what you have done in your 8th standard, right? If you have won a drawing competition in your 5th standard, do you feel we should put it as achievement? No. See, put things which impresses the interviewer towards your big data knowledge. As simple as that. So if you have a lot of technical skills, right? I mentioned that you will be mentioning keywords like PySpark, Databricks, and all. So if you have a lot of this, then categorize it. Just like you can categorize like programming languages. Under this, you can mention Python, Java, C, C++, whatever. Backend frameworks, web development, if they are databases, like you can say Oracle, MySQL, big data frameworks where you can talk about big data tools and technologies, any dashboarding tools if you know. So if you have too many, then categorize, otherwise not required. Work experience. So here you would be mentioning what kind of work you have done. So that's where you would mention your kind of projects. So don't consume much space in explaining the projects because anyways you would have to explain in your interview room. So highlight it in two or three lines, as simple as that. Okay. Always try to showcase your skills with quantified numbers. For example, if you say that you have worked on performance optimization, so you have to say that okay, I optimize this pipeline and increase the speed by 83%. I decrease the cost by 30%. So you have to quantify it with numbers to make it more impactful, right? Don't miss out the achievement section. I mean, you can put something even if you have not achieved much, you can mimic something and put it, but it should not be empty, ideally, with respect to ATS compliance, right? And try to use two column format in order to utilize space properly. So if you are going with one page, definitely you would have to use a two columnar format. Now, what is ATS compliant resume? See, ATS compliant, as I mentioned, ATS is an application tracking system. It's a software through which they scan for resumes because they cannot go through all resumes manually, right? So that's what it is. How can I make a ATS compliant resume? Now, there are multiple parts to it, but two most essential things that you have to remember. Your resume format should be very clear. That means it should not look clumsy, that you have put in so much information and there is no indentation and all. So it should look very clear. Partition your resume content. You can see this point. Don't repeat the content. That means if you repeat, kind of, then you are taking more space for the same content which you have already put. Don't add any relevant information like your mother's name, father's name, and your many other things like full address, not required. Make it crisp, which fits in one page or maximum in two pages, because no one will read a page beyond your second page. And follow the margin rule. It should not be that your content is coming outside the margin. That's where you take a template from internet and then put in the details there. Now, also you need to put relevant keywords. For example, if you know PySpark and Databricks is what many companies are looking, then of course you would put those keywords. You will say PySpark, Azure Databricks, Spark SQL, all of these things you would mention. So ATS will give the interpretations based on keywords mentioned. So don't mention too many keywords also, because if you think, okay, I want to come up in more results, and you put in, let's say, 100 keywords, it won't again help, right? It will make the system more this thing confusing, that okay, what you are looking at. Now, what is the benefit of ATS compliant resume? That means, let's say you end up creating one. What will be the benefit? You will get more visibility because your resume will be seen by many people. It will look more structured and neat, right? And it will give a professional approach to the people who are seeing it. Now, this is a two columnar format. That's how it looks like. On the screen, you can see, right? Uh, on the right side, this is a two column format. You can see this, and on the left side is a normal single single column format, but it might go up to two pages. I have shown you earlier also. Okay, so uh, let's say now you start building a ATS resume by taking one proper template, let's say this kind of template from Google Docs, and you start filling, and you have created one resume. Now, how do you get to know what is the score of, like, how much ATS compliant it is? Now, again, I am saying, even though I will show you how to see the score and all, but do not get too hooked to it, because most of these platforms will charge you unnecessarily, right? So, whatever points I will give you, let's say I talk about 5 or 6 points, you just consider those points, and automatically your results will be better. You do not have to check your score, because score also is not something which is deterministic, because if I check from one tool, it will show me 100, another tool might show me 80. So there is no guarantee again how these tools work, but I am saying I will talk about important pointers which increases the score, and I will demonstrate that. When I'm demonstrating by showing you the score, you do not have to think that for your resume also you have to scan and see the score, because if you scan through another tool, the score might be very different. So there is nothing right or wrong, only focus on the essential points which I will tell, but I will prove that those points increase the score, as simple as that. So there are many such platforms like Resume Worded, Top Resume, which offers free ATS resume scan, but up to 1 or 2 times, like that you can check. But you do not have to go for any paid thing here. I'm saying that even if you are not able to, get the score, it's fine. Only make sure you design the resume the way I am talking about. So I hope this is clear. And whatever these tools work, they show you your score, and they show you what you have done good and where is the scope of improvement. That's how these tools work, right? Okay. Now, what is the ideal length of a resume? See, your resume should not be too big. It should be from 450 to 650 words, because I continuously say that it should be concise. It's not that you are writing a big essay. No. You are selling your skills, and that too you have to do it in a very, very neat and concise manner. The unwritten rule in the hiring world is that you should never go above 2 pages, and anything after the first 2 pages will never be read by the managers. I think this should be clear. So, conciseness is very important. 450 to 650 words is the ideal length for your resume. Now, should we make separate section for projects in our resume? A lot of people would ask. I would say project section is required when you are a fresher, or you might have, let's say, 1 year or 1.5 year of experience where you have not too much projects to showcase from your work, right? There you can show project section and show your personal projects that you have done. But otherwise, if you are an experienced person, more than 2 years of experience, you should not show your personal projects like that. Rather, you should show what you have done in your company, and that should come under the experience section. I will show you shortly. Now, I will be showing you two examples. One is a one pager resume, another is a two-pager resume. And I will show that initially what is the score and how do I improvise on that to increase the score, right? So that you get both the options and you can get some pointers out of it. So initially I will take, let's say, a one pager resume, and this resume is of Nikhil. It's a random name which we have taken, so you do not feel that this is an actual resume of someone. It's a mimicked one, right? So let me just show that. So it's a one pager resume. The initial score was 38. Now our objective was to make required corrections in this resume to make it a perfectly ATS compliant resume, and I will provide you a demonstration where under five categories we have refined it, and the score we were able to achieve was 100. Again, I'm saying do not go with this number. If I scan it with some other tool, it might show 75 only. We never know, right? Now objective is not to make ATS score as 100, but to give resume a perfection by making required corrections. As simple as that. I hope this makes sense. So let me show you. So I have this Nikhil's resume, you see here, and this was the very first version of the resume. Ideally, uh, these people say that your resume can be in doc format or PDF format and many other formats, but only thing that you have to remember is it should be in PDF format, right? Do not put any other format, PDF format only. Now you see the structuring of this initial version looks good, right? You can see name Nikhil Singh, AWS Big Data Developer. You can say Azure Big Data Developer. And then again comes the summary, experienced big data engineer with a proven track record or whatever, right? And then details, email, phone number, location, and the LinkedIn. It should be clickable, right? Now, after that, you can see work experience. You are seeing the work experience. So it should be always that latest thing should be up. That means if your latest company is Tesco, you should put it up, and then you have to follow the descending order. Whatever is happening recently, you have to put at the top, right? So you can see three companies and projects are mentioned here, and then achievements, right? Skills, like Apache Spark, Scoop, Hive, whatever. Education, right? The latest info, education, what this person has done. Certificates, if any, languages, right? All of this. So this is a single page resume. Looks perfectly fine. I mean, if you have a look at it, you might feel this looks good. I mean, I don't see any issues with that. Let me upload this and show you what's the score. So Nikhil Singh resume version 1, right? Let me just upload it. I am using resume worded and desktop, ATS resume, Nikhil, and version 1. Let me upload this. I'm uploading this, and this is how it scans for many things here. Let's see what score we get here. Again, you do not have to do all of this. I am just giving you an idea that by changing what, how I am increasing the score. And you see the score is 38, even though you felt resume is good, but the score is 38. And it's not that we will make so much changes to this. With very minimal changes we can increase the score, as simple as that, right? Now it shows me the score, it shows me under various categories that what is the impact, brevity, style, section, soft skills. Do not worry too much about it. And uh, it says, it gives me suggestion that your score is made up of five categories. Let's show how to increase your score. It says impact is 31 out of 100, and impact is dependent on weak action verbs and quantify impact. I'll talk about it, right? So anyways, I will go to my PPT where I have talked about it. So it says that our resume length is okay. If you see this closely, somewhere it will say, okay, you have done good on your basically resume length and all of those things. So you see this, what you did well, resume length, dates are in right format, skill section looks good, but what to improve will come here, right? So now I will show this to you. So you see, there are five categories that they have defined. Do not get too hooked with that, but I am saying impact. What does it mean? Let's say you said that you worked on a project or you were involved in a project. Don't that sound weak? That okay, what's the big deal if you are involved in a project? What's the big deal if you have worked on a project? So kind of that you have to basically say that okay, I led this, or I achieved, I completed. So it's like strong things you are saying, like you are making that statement little strong. You cannot put weak action verbs, right? You cannot say involved in, participated in. I mean, it's not a big deal to do that. Rather you say that achieved, completed, led a team. It should sound good, right? So this is, do not have weak action verbs. Apart from that, uh, quantify impact. You say that you worked on a performance optimization and improved performance, but you quantify it with number, that the speed increased 3x times or the cost reduced by 80%. So you quantify things with number that will create more impact. Remove the repetition and show that you were involved in few things which, where you took responsibilities, right? I led a team, I completed, or I kind of that, where you said that you have taken that responsibility, right? Directly do not use the word responsibility, but you show it with your actions. So this is what impact means, and it's a very important category. Brevity means concise. That means put it in less space. So the number of bullet points should not be too much. The length of bullet points should not be too much, and try to not repeat the content. Brevity means put it in a concise way. Style means it should not be that you have 10 bullet points, at five places you have put a full stop at the end and at other five you have not. So it should be consistent, and you should use active voice rather than passive voice. I'll tell another example of that, but I'm just saying these are the things. And do not use buzzwords which we use in our regular language just for the sake of it, which do not have any impact, right? Do not use such fillers, as such filler words, not required. Then sections, I mean, summary section is very important, where you need to focus on here, right? It is having a highest weightage. And of course you take care of the soft skills, like you mentioned that demonstrate with few things where your analytical skills, teamwork, communication, and all of these things are seen, right? This also I will showcase, that I analyze this, or I have driven this initiative, things like that. I hope this is clear, but as soon as I show the this thing practical, you will get to know more. Now the very first change we will do is, in this, even this was suggesting weak action verbs. Now if you see fix, right, if I clicked on this, it says instead of saying involved in, you say let's say guided, facilitated, right? Instead of saying organized, used, worked, you cannot just say I worked on something. You can say I implemented, I developed, right? Working in, instead of saying working in, you say managing, implementing. Instead of saying working on, say developing, implementing, or preparing, like that. Right? So many options you will get here. Okay. So this is about this. So you see, worked on improving processes and reducing the number of customer support calls. Instead of this, implemented crash reporter and use results to fix three biggest causes of crashes, leading to a 45%. So you are quantifying it with a number, plus you are removing weak verbs and putting it with a decent thing. And it's giving me places where I could have done this. You see it here. I hope this is clear. All of this it might give up with the paid version, but you do not have to use this tool. Rather, you take whatever suggestions I am giving. So here in this resume, we had this work experience. We were using involved in building or things like that. So here we are making that change. So you see this helping three departments. Uh, we are basically quantifying impact in numbers. So we are putting some numbers, helping three departments in less than 1 week, delivering 100% efficiency, saving 100 man hours with 100% consistency on 10 machines, reducing 50 man hours per activity, like that. So you see, when we did this for our work experience and achievement, right? In achievement also we said awarded first prize among 5,000 participants, first ever technical gathering of 2,000 people. So our score went up by 4 points. From 38, it becomes now 42. I hope this is clear. And after this, I will show you 2.1, right? For 2.1, the score goes to 42. And this is the change that we quantified things with numbers. So let me upload this. I will say re-upload and I will say 2.1, right? Because we just changed this impact category and just we quantified the numbers, nothing else. And if I do this, you will see the score will go to 42. It's an increase of 4 points. So let's see this in action. I hope this would make sense to you. So let's see. You can see the score is 42, right? So we have, you see 4 points we have increased. Fine. Now it will again say that, okay, in impact category, we have put in numbers, but there is another thing that we can do in impact category to put more impact is remove the weak action verbs, right? So that's what we will do in our next step. Now you see here, in impact category, we will remove the weak action verbs. So earlier we have put involved in, working, working on, worked, right? Used, worked, used, all of that. So you say reduced, redundant, achieved, strengthened, achieved proficiency, mastered, initiated, pioneered, excelled, all of this. So, and in this category, you see the score has gone drastically up by 14 points, right? That means now your statement has a weight to it, right? It's not that you were just working on a project, you were just involved in a project. I mean, what's the big deal? Thousands of people are involved, right? And in achievement also, when you say organized, instead of saying organized, successfully conducted, right? All of this you can mention. So instead of using involved in, organized, used, worked on, you can say achieved, attained, completed, accelerated, doubled, reduced, strengthened, transformed, pioneered, expanded, affected, overcame, mastered, initiated, etc. I hope this is clear. So 2.2, we will get 56 point, or we will get a raise of 14 points because we have removed weak action verbs with proper verbs, with stronger verbs. So I will put 2.2. So in impact category, we have taken care of two things now. One is your quantify impact with numbers and putting impact with proper action verbs. You can see various things it sees here. Identifying weak verbs, right? And you can see the score should go to 56 now. 14 points it has increased. So this is good. And you see in impact category, we have already reached 84, right? Which is quite good. Style is very less, sections are very less. Again, it will show that bullet points in style it's giving us now. So, but I will show you from PPT because it's already pre-captured. Now, let's see brevity. That means things have to be concise. In our resume, there are 21 bullet points found in the core section, but idle count should be 12 to 18, right? So how decide which bullet point to remove? Because you have to now remove something which is redundant, remove something which is less relevant, or remove something which is very old, which you did, let's say, 10 years back and you are telling it now. So try thinking that way, right? So I have removed 3 points, and after this, when I see my score has gone up to 63, it has increased by 7 points. So that's the only thing in brevity. I will show you now version 3, right? So in brevity, if you see here, bullet point length, right? So it might show us that, but anyways, it's captured. 5 bullet points are too short. All of that is also there because bullet points should not be too short, and moreover, there should not be too many bullet points also. So let me quickly show you that. What I will do is again I will re-upload. I'll re-upload the version 3 where I have removed some of the bullet points. Right? You can see loading a resume, parsing a resume, identifying core sections, that means structuring, work experiences, it is checking, other experiences, evaluating resume length, identifying bullet points, resume depth, impact, analyzing writing style, weak verbs, all of that. And you can see score has gone up by 7 points. Right? Okay. So now next what? Brevity, we have done something good. That's nice. After this, in style, this is a very small thing. We have used a keyword adapt at, and it's more like a filler word, right? Not something used commonly. So here we have changed it with masters in. It's a small change. You do not have to, go with that. But still, I'm saying small things can also matter. So do not use filler words. So let me just put version 4 here. It's not that important, but again, since it was taken care into consideration, let me upload that quickly so that I will show you. So this way score will be 67. Anyways, it will check in the background. Sorry, 66. Yeah. Now after this, what is there? Sorry, this PDF, this particular slide is little messed up, some formatting issue. But anyways, summary is most important, right? Summary. Now in summary also, we have to quantify it with numbers. For example, we said with a proven track record, so skilled big data engineer with 4 years of excellent track record. So this is one quantification, right? We quantified with number. Also we said solutions have saving project cost by around 20%. So if you put this kind of metrics in this, right? Length was good. This is what system said, that length is good, 3 4 lines, but you metrics and numbers are missing. And the moment we put this, the score goes up by 14 points, right? I hope this is clear. Also, consistency. 7 bullet points were found where dot was there, and 10 bullet points where there was no dot. So either it should be all full stop at the end, or there should not be full stop for any of the bullet points. Right? So use period with all bullets or don't use anywhere. Right? I hope this is clear. Right? So let me just upload this version 5 after this, where I have taken care of what? I have put some numbers in my summary because summary is important. Also, in terms of the bullet points which are there, I have removed or made it more consistent. And one more thing. This one here, what's it? Version 5, right? Yeah. So let me just upload this version 5 and check. version 5. So let's see what the score will be. So again, till now, what you would have seen that we have to make the resume concise. We do not have to repeat points. We have to quantify things with number. Do not use weak action verbs because it should be impactful, right? And be consistent. If you are putting a full stop at the end of the line, then do it for all. Otherwise, do not do it for anyone. All of that. And you see the score has gone to 80. Brevity is 93 now. Impact is 84. All of this looks good. It's quite good now, right? Now, after this, we would have to change our file name also. That means, for example, in your resume, whatever with the name you save, your file, your name should be there, right? If you are Nikhil Singh, then Nikhil Singh should be there as part of the file name. Anyways, now soft skills section. So now here you should use the words like, uh, for example, what I would suggest you is you can create a LinkedIn article, not a post, but an article. In LinkedIn, there is a way you create one article only, and you create it on, let's say, Databricks performance techniques or PySpark performance techniques or best practices for PySpark, something like that. Only create one, and then you mention something like author data engineering articles on LinkedIn and give a link to it, something like that. Because if these words come like authored, analyzed, facilitated, right, this will increase the score. So they want to see your analytical skills and communication skills that way, right? Awarded. So use this kind of words: analyzed, designed, addressed, advised, arranged, developed, guided, moderated, resolved, authored, awarded, all of this. So I mean, this is just, you can do it. Authored data engineering article on LinkedIn, you can create just one article and then mention about it. Analyzed and initiated use of something to import, or analyze and initiated use of Azure Data Factory to import large data on 10 machine, something like that. So you, this word analyzed is coming. Facilitated workshop on technical skill development, something like that. It, within your company you have given a talk, right? Facilitated a session on this, you can mention that way. So if you use these kind of words, then again it will look good and your score will go significantly up. Now it has given an increase of 20 points and score goes to 100. Now I will show you that. So anyways, let's see what suggestion it gives. Whatever, it will always give some suggestion, but uh, now let me just see. Soft skills, soft skill is the weak part. So analytical skills, not enough evidence of analytical and problem solving skills, right? So analytical skills refer to your ability to break down complex problems and come up with solutions. So design, analyze, something like that you have to mention. Communication skills, not enough evidence of communication skills. Employers want someone that can clearly communicate with colleagues and all. So that's where you would use some words like guided or resolved or authored, right? All of that. So anyways, let me upload the final version, and my final version is Nikhil Singh resume.pdf. This is the last version of it. I should not be putting V1, V2 actually. It should be like this: your name, and like if my name is Sumit Mittal, I will say Sumit Mittal resume.pdf. And now I will upload this. And let's see the score. So this is analyzing all the things, and your score will drastically go, right? Now that's what we wanted, but again I'm saying do not get too hooked with this number. If I put it in some other ATS scanner, or some other tool, it might show 80 or 75. All what you have to remember is the points I'm mentioning, because there is not nothing right or wrong. Every tool is built based on their own rules, right? So it's not that if it is saying 100 then it's like the best. No, we can't say. But all I'm saying is the points that you have to take. So, with this, let me end the session. I hope you would have enjoyed this. Thanks a lot.